Last week I had the opportunity to have coffee with one of my best friends. I have two or three best friends, and they all go back for many years. And Tim and I go back to college days, which is almost 50 years. That's a long time to be friends, and we've been friends all through these years. We were having coffee and we were talking about different things, and somehow it came up about college, and somehow he and I were in the student center one day checking our mail and having those kind of conversations that guys have. And we got to talking about different things, and there was now a group of guys just kind of standing around us, and they said, "Hey, I don't think you've ever jumped off the bridge." I said, "What do you mean?" "The bridge, man, you've never jumped off the bridge." It seems at this university, there was this male rite of passage that every guy had to do before they graduated, and that was to jump off this bridge. Now, the bridge is about 10 miles away, and it crossed Lake Hartwell, and it was this old bridge, this iron superstructure that went up, and you climbed up on the top of the bridge, and from the top of the bridge to the water below, it was about 40 feet. And so they're encouraging me to do this, and I'm saying, "No, I can't do this. I can't." "Yeah, you can, man. Yeah, you can." Next thing you know, I find myself in one of their cars, and we're going over to Lake Hartwell to the bridge, and sure enough, it's there, and we all get out of the car, and within just minutes, two or three of them have climbed on top of the bridge and jumped off, splashed, swam to the edge, and they said, "It's your turn, man. It's your turn." And I said, "I can't do it. I can't do it." "Yes, you can. Yes, you can." Well, I finally shimmied up the side of this superstructure. It's like a monkey that you shimmied up. You didn't really climb. You just kind of went up like that. And when I got up there and I looked down at the water, I knew I wasn't jumping. Now, it was only 35 or 40 feet, but it seemed 300 or 400 feet. Yes, it did. I was petrified. I mean, just fear ran through me, all through me. And I said, "I can't do this." And so I went back over to the edge of where I'd climbed up and tried to climb down. But somehow climbing down now was not possible on this beam. And so I was stuck. And so I looked down at him and I said, "You're going to have to call the fire department," because I said, "I'm not jumping." "Yeah, man, you can jump." "I can't jump." So I make my way back over to the center of the bridge, and I look down again and I said, "You need to call the fire department because I'm not jumping." And I stood there, and the next thing you know, Tim, my friend, whom I'm having coffee with, is standing beside me. And he said, "Listen, I'm going to jump with you. I'm going to jump with you. We're going to do this together." And there was something about how he said that and the way that he said that it put courage into me, and it lessened my fear. And so we turn around and we count down, and together we jumped off this bridge. I go into the water 15 feet probably, and then come back up and swim to the shore. Now, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but there is something about sharing an experience with somebody that makes it easier or sustains it. You know, one of the things that it says in Scripture that we are not to forsake or not to stop getting together with other believers because it encourages us. You know, I think about something like AA or these addiction recovery programs, and it's really a group of people sitting around talking about a shared experience, and there's something about that. There's something about all of those people encouraging you that gives you the ability to sustain that. There's no medication that they give you. There's no high psychotherapy. It's just the encouragement of these people that enables you to do that. It's the same way when we have a partner that helps us when we're dieting or jogging or working out or those kind of things. I know as a pastor, when I used to help families through grieving, it didn't take me long to learn there was no genius thing I could say that was going to take that away. But what I discovered was that when I was there, just there, That somehow we split up the grieving like a piece of pie, like other family members and me. We split up the grieving into these smaller pieces that somehow made that experience tolerable. Now, I don't know if you have such a friend as I have as Tim, but you need one. You need one. Whether you're going through a difficult time in a relationship or where you work or who knows what it is. Man, if you can share that, particularly with another believer, the encouragement, the prayer, the power of all of that, it sustains you. It's how He intended for it to be. I can't explain it, but I jumped off the bridge.